Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacob, and in this video I'm going to give you 3 examples of why there are better rifles than the FG42. All of these are design elements of the FG42. One of them you can fix and 2 of them you cannot fix. Without any further wasting of time, let's get right into it. The only one of these design flaws that can be fixed is the ammunition. As I stated in an earlier video, 8mm is heavy. The cartridge is too big, it's more than you need. It's just too heavy. This is too heavy, what can you say? I know what you're thinking, that I've never had any experience with an FG42.
You would be wrong.
I have handled a few originals. I've never fired an original, but I have handled a few originals, and I do have some experience with the reproductions. This is a second model pattern of the reproduction that is made in the US. I do have some experience with it, and the issue I have is the magazine sticking out the side.
One of the problems that nobody talks about with the FG42 is the side-mounted magazine. Yes, it gets you low to the ground, but one thing you can't do is it's really uncomfortable to walk with it at the low ready, I think what you call the low ready. It digs into your side. If you were to play run and gun or 2-gun, you're only doing it for a few minutes, and so you don't notice this really. But if you take it hunting or on long hikes, this, where you have to have it down and ready, really becomes apparent, and it really is a failing of the rifle.
The third issue that makes the FG42 a bad rifle is when it jams. If you shoot any firearm enough, it will eventually jam. The FG42s are not well known for reliability so far. The reproductions, yes, there are some out there that just work like a charm, but generally they have teething issues. They're a really low rate production item. But even if you have an original, and you're one of those rare people, you will experience a jam eventually. So I have a couple of empty cases to show what the problem is. It's worse on the second pattern than it is on the first pattern. With a first pattern, you can actually lock the bolt open. When the FG42 jams, the case falls down onto the piston inside the rifle. The first pattern is all right because it has a bolt hold open, and you can charge it, lock the bolt open, remove the magazine, and dump out the case. For the second pattern of FG42, this is not an easy proposition. It is a 3-handed job. There isn't a bolt hold open. So what happens, we have a case in here, and if we charge it, well, it's down in there. And if you're, luckily I don't have a magazine in here, but if you do have a magazine, again, it doesn't have the deep cut for the charging, the stripper clip that's on the first model, and so the case falls in there on top of the piston. And if you're shooting these, it has become a 3-handed operation. You need to remove the magazine, keep the charging handle back in the bolt, and then fish it out somehow. And that is a real problem. So those are my 3 issues with the FG42 that can't be fixed. There's the mass of the ammunition. There's the magazine sticking out the side, which means it's very uncomfortable to carry at the low ready. And when they jam, and it's really hard to get those cases out when they fall on top of the piston. It's just a 3-handed operation to unjam one of these. So this is just my opinion on these and my experience with them. They're a fine rifle. I mean, I've got no complaints. I love them, but I couldn't recommend them to anybody as a rifle of choice. You know, they're fine collector items, but probably a G43 is a better rifle. Magazine's in the right location, caliber is the same. And when it jams, it's not a 3-handed operation to jam. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a like. You can leave a comment below. I love hearing people's comments. A lot of them are really insightful. When people feel that they need to leave a comment, it's usually about personal experience, and that is more insightful than anything else you can imagine for somebody who's making videos. I have an email address that's always at the end. You can send me an email if you don't want to leave a comment. If you didn't like the video, I'd still like to hear a comment or a like. And until next time.